This is the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. This week, we're going to grab some friends, grab our characters, and go on a bug hunt. We will also, of course, talk about the game news that we're seeing this week, the little bit that we have, and maybe a little bit guild news too. This broadcast Astromech this week is EPC 248. That's only about 12 more episodes till 500. Hey, EPC. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going? Haven't heard that math joke in a while, have you?
Yes, we're reviving old jokes tonight. That's well, how is that different from every night? Um, yeah, I'm having a great week. I'm still like getting little dibs and dabs of stuff fixed up on my new computer, things that I didn't remember that I didn't back up and I don't have now. And I did take my old SSD in the new computer. But I realized most of the spreadsheets and everything else I had were not on that. They were, of course, on the hard drive. So I still haven't I'm still not done with the old computer. I have to still have a few things I have to transfer off. But it is cool having like faster, nicer looking, more FPS type computer. So I can't complain.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I was riding my Tauntaun during MFN, and I'm like, oh my God, this stuff on the Tauntaun, it looks like leather, like his saddlebags and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it didn't look like that before. So
So you've
I recommend it if you can get a new video card and not play with one that's 6 years old. The game might look better.
so you have all the frames now, all the frames per second.
I have all the frames and I have my settings on ultra.
Oh, very nice.
I did have a little weird lag problem at first, but it seems to have dissipated. So I don't know what that was.
Mm.
Like a little momentary lag. I think you probably remember me complaining about it because I was whining pretty hard about it.
It's burning on the
Um,
cables. It's burning on the cables. You need to did you have monster cables?
yes,
Because you need
it's burned in
to
now.
you have to
Yeah,
burn
right.
in the
Okay.
cables.
Um, we just finished MFN because we're recording on a Tuesday night this week. Mandatory fun night. We went and did Karaga's Palace, and we did uh, ran through the whole thing. It's a short instance. And then we went over to Tatooine and killed a bunch of guards. So we amassed some conquest points. However, this week we're just doing medium on the imp side and small on the pub side. So it's kind of a not as much pressure week, which is good. Um, and I would talk about our ops team, but because we recorded last week on Thursday, which was our ops nights, we've really kind of already covered that. Um, but during the week, I did get to conquest on 5 tunes, which I did mostly with crafting and ops and rampages, which are pretty much my favorite activities. I enjoy the rampages. Even now, I'm getting into it more with characters that I'm leveling that I haven't played in a long time and I don't remember how to play them. I'm like, and I went out on a Lobby character who had a companion that was like influence level 10 or 11, and I thought it was going to be really hard, but it wasn't. It was still fun. So yeah, I like it. So that's pretty much how it's been going with me. How about you, Max?
Well, before we get to me, let's say hi to a couple guests tonight. So, as I said in the
Oh yeah.
intro, oh wow, I just saw in general chat somebody is selling the cybernetic Varactyl. I need this. What is that? How did I not find? Where did this come from?
Oh, it's pretty
Oh,
cool looking.
jeez, I gotta get me one of these. So I'll be doing that after the podcast tonight. Apparently, wow, look at that. That is so cool. Uh,
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, sorry, got sidetracked there. Yes. So we wanted to go to Colicoid Ward Games tonight. We wanted to go on a little bit of bug hunt, so we had to bring in a couple usual suspects to help us out. And luckily, I thought, let's bring in BC. And because I always call BC B Kavanaugh, I accidentally call him Zen once in a while. I figured I'll bring in Zen also, so that if I accidentally
For
call
camouflage.
BC Zen can just speak up and I can say that's what I meant. So that's what we're doing.
Yep.
So hello, BC. How are you? And
Hey,
what have you been up to this week?
Hey Max, hey Seema. I got 7 tunes to Conquest Gold last week, so I earned
Wow.
15 charge matter transubstantiators. So I'll probably craft some more augments with those. And like everyone, been spending a lot of time running tunes through Conquest. It's been quite fun just to try some activities I haven't done in a while.
Excellent. Yeah, you and Zen and a couple others have sort of been leading the charge on various aspects of conquest. So we really appreciate that. Maybe we're mostly going to talk about flashpoints this week when we goof off in a little bit, but maybe we can ask some extra questions about that, especially if the chat room brings up any. And Zen, the real Zen, how are you?
Hey,
And how's it been going?
fine. I'm great, thanks, Max. It's been going well. In the last week, I did a little bit of conquest. I didn't really want to because we were on the imp side, but we're going for the large target, and so I decided to get 7 characters to go and get some materials.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't really want to, but you know,
How many do you do when you do want to?
I don't have many more than 7, really. So that's basically it, really.
So that is
Um,
cool.
and then on Monday night with my raid team, the Soldiers of Light, we had our off tank. Captain Peters was out, so we switched around a bit, and I did some tanking. And yeah, it's
Oh,
great to switch roles because you really see different aspects of the fights and different mechanics
yeah.
and so on. So it's yeah, and I think it really helps you play your main role better if you do the other roles from time to time as well.
That's a really good tip. It definitely is.
Yeah.
It two things. It helps you play your role better, and it also in PvP helps you kill those other characters more effectively.
And in PvE, it gives you empathy.
Empathy. What kind of tank did you play? Because we were talking about this in guild chat
Guardian,
or Discord earlier. Guardian.
yeah, a Guardian. Um, yeah, it's a tank. I use it a lot for PvP, but the PvP gear isn't really good for PvE. So I've actually got a
Right.
separate tank set for PvE,
Okay.
which I guess it worked.
Cool. Cool. So somebody just told me that this fractal, this cybernetic fractal, is 48 million on the GTN currently. I think I will have to wait till it comes down on price or it goes on sale for the lower than 3,500 cartel coins on the cartel market. That's a little rich for my blood. Although it's actually not, but I've been making out good on the selling the augments lately. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I sold a couple augments, although the market for augments has really slowed down this week, or in the past few weeks actually. So although we're getting a lot of these components available, people seem to be maybe holding on to them and using them themselves, and then not needing to buy the augments. So I've I've found that the price of the augments are really coming down, although the price of the charge matter transubstantiators are not. They're still up around 1.6, 1.7, 1.8 million each. The, weirdly though, the price of the augments is way down. So I've seen some of the augments go as low as like under 6 million, and you need to use 4 of those charge matter transubstantiators, which means you're like, even with the crit rate, your people are selling them for under cost, which I don't understand. But I've still made some profit on a couple of those. I spent some time this week, besides all of the stuff that we talked about on Ops Night and Mandatory Fun Night and all this kind of fun stuff. I did do some inventory management, so I cleaned up my legacy storage so I could store all of the grade 2 through 10 materials, especially grade 2 through 9 are all on one tab now. I have grade 10 materials with blue materials on another tab. That's for actual crafting, because I only craft some of the endgame stuff right now. But 2 through 9 for conquest. And then I implemented a strategy for gathering and grinding out some materials so I could stock up for the next crafting week if it ever comes around again, because I did one of my characters, and we complained a little bit about this last week on the podcast. I did one of my characters, Conquest, just via crafting, and I did not have materials stored up, so that was a big hassle for me. A lot of our guild experts have their strategy where they keep the decos in their strongholds and log in all of their characters to loot those decos a few times a day to get a big stack of the materials that come out of those gathering decos. That is a good strategy. I don't like all the logging in, logging out, so I invented a new strategy of my own. And I used to do this before, and I did it just for one day. I did it yesterday because I was mostly working remotely here. And I did not spend a lot of time and still gathered probably a stack of 800 each of the grade 4 archaeology mats, which I was looking for. So 1,600 mats plus a bunch of extra bioanalysis and scavenging mats. And the way I did that is I found a nice spot on Terrace that had... either I was standing right in range of 2 archaeology nodes, or just with a couple, sort of like 100 yards in 2 other directions, I was in range of 4 archaeology nodes. So about every 8 minutes or so, I could just either keep that screen up, look at it, and loot those, or I could log back in periodically, and I could run other missions. I didn't have to do a lot of logging out and logging back in. I could just have my character standing in one place and just loot and loot and loot and loot those nodes. I've done that before with some of the other grade materials, so that's sort of my new little strategy that I'm promoting. But I can't tell you my spot, obviously, because you'll come and loot it, and then I will cry. So that's what I've been doing. Let's hear about what's going on in the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
2 very small news items. We are mostly... Okay, so news item number 1, there's barely any news. News item number 2 is, ironically, that there might soon be some news. So, Season 9 rewards, they said they would be coming out by the end of the June. It is almost the end of the June. They are not out yet, but they claim they will be out sometime this week. We could still use even a little more news than that, guys, because that is not great for our podcast, at least, that's what you should be worried about, BioWare. Keith, you should be worried about what kind of content we have for the podcast. So not a lot. We're waiting to hear more. We were having a little commentary in Discord earlier. I would like to hear more about what's coming next after the PvP updates this summer. We know in a couple of weeks we're going to get the update, which will have at least some of the PvP updates associated with it. We know that we're going to get this news about what the Season 9 rewards are going to be, because Season 9 is going to be ending. But we're just not there yet. We haven't heard a lot about what's coming next. So that's all we've got. News is no news. Besides a couple problems.
Yeah. This week is a bounty contract week as well.
Yeah, so they're continuing to do the events. The
Nashida Nightlife event as well.
Yeah, so the bounty contract is still going on. Nashida Nightlife is finishing up by the end of the month, so you'll need to get in there if you want to spend a lot of credits and not win any of the prizes. At least that's my strategy. But it's still not all that much going on. So the only other things that we see crop up in the news are where there's issues. So Seema, there was one more that was sort of reported this week. What else happened? Hello, Seema. We cannot hear Seema, so... Well, Max, what I was going to say was that we had a problem with people trying to resub whose subs ran out this week. Yeah, we still can't hear you, Seema, but I'll go through this while you get your audio reset. So people were trying to resub. We heard last week that there were problems with their commerce server, and actually a few weeks ago, and it took a couple weeks for it to all resolve. People had problems buying cartel coins and then them not showing up. It seems like they're continuing to do updates on their commerce service for whatever reasons. They were in a little bit of a maintenance window earlier today. It didn't get communicated to everybody that it would have any impact on the players, but it actually did. And what happened is during that window, you were not able to resub if you were getting to the end of your sub and you had to resub. So hopefully that should be fixed up. Hopefully that'll be fixed up for anybody that needed to resub very soon or already is. but that showed up in the dev tracker as well. There's a little bit of feedback back and forth with the game team. Check that out if you're still having problems. Hopefully that's all fixed up for you though.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're trying to fix that as fast as possible because
Yes.
regardless of anything else, they want to receive money more than anything else.
Take my money. Yes, that I would agree that would probably be the top of their priority list. There's Sev 1, there's Sev 2, Sev 1, and then there's people can't give us money. And that's like wake people up and executives are getting on the phone and bad things are happening. So Seema, is your audio back on? No, it is not. All right. So while we continue to pull Seema back in, she did say it was past her bedtime, the chat room is telling me. So yes, maybe Seema fell asleep. Alas. So also in guild news, we, as we were saying earlier, we are doing Conquest again this week on the Imperial side. What did we get up to? 100. Oh, it's continuing to tick up even as we're talking now. I think people are out there doing their rampage. So we did a little bit of Karaga's Palace with 16 people. That got us a huge chunk of points with the guild. And then we killed some champion guards on Tatooine. That got us another chunk of points for 16 people. And now people, I think, are finishing up their rampages there. Rampages are really nice that way. So we're going to do the Medium Planet on the Imperial side. And next week is Republic. So our Mandatory Fun Night will be Republic side. Our Conquest targets will be Republic side. And we will have fun doing that. And I think that's going to lead into us making sure we have at least a week of fun Republic side stuff. And then I even heard that our next Mega Guild monthly event, which includes even more people than just our guild, but I heard that might be a Republic side event as well. Because somebody really likes the Republic characters. Zen.
Yay.
Yay.
And BC.
Great. All right. With that, I think we can check in with Kemval and see what we're actually going to be doing tonight.
Jinasiwe ja alaize nam nadize. Ustaupain ICJ in alam is frumadine habans.
Okay, so that goes without saying, and everybody understands that we are now. Does not everybody speak to Shad? I do, and what Kemval said was that we are going to go on a bug hunt. We are going to go do Colicoid War Games. So we were talking, BC, you said you have never done it, right?
I have never run Colicoid War Games before. I haven't been playing the game that long, and by the time I started playing, it was just not one that people ran. It wasn't level synced like the rest of them after 4.0 or whenever they last changed things.
And I think I have literally not done it in years because it was not part of the DVL event in particular. So when the DVL event came up last summer, we ran every flashpoint on regular and every flashpoint on master except this one. Was there any other ones that were off the list that I don't remember? So this might be the only one that was not on the list that you did not have to run as part of DVL. There may have been one or two others, but I don't think so. So Kaon Under Siege and Lost Island, Smoke is saying in the chat room, we didn't have to run those either. No, maybe we didn't. I thought we did run Lost Island. No, maybe that was just Seema making us run Lost Island Master Mode as a quick one. Hey, Seema's back. Hi, Seema.
Yeah, I restarted Discord, but I don't know why I had to do that.
I don't know either. Discord's...
We missed you, Seema.
Yes, we did.
Thank you.
I
could hear you
rage
guys
quit.
talking and accusing me of sleeping.
I almost rage quit, but instead I get to cheer join, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, when they removed the DVL achievements at the end of the event, they never really replaced them with all the achievements with the components of like all the actual activities that we did.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That
Every time I think about them doing that, I just
grind your teeth,
Shake my head.
shake your
Yeah.
head. I
They
didn't.
removed achievements. I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What do you mean you didn't want us to do that? We didn't take away the rewards."
The event was
like,
over. Why do you
gosh.
need that in there still? What?
We're like, "You guys don't know us at all."
Or you have never played a
Those
video game
achievements-
ever.
That's why we did this activity, was for the achievements.
Yeah.
And so then they kind of put them back in, but they had already, I don't know, flushed the tape where the data was, and they just put like the top level ones in or something.
The tape, yes. They store it all on DAT cartridges.
Cassette tape, yeah.
Cassette tape, like my Commodore 64 that had an actual cassette deck, and you would hit record, and then you would write data to it while it was on record, and then you hit stop and rewind, and then you would hit play to read that data back in. I still have that cassette deck for my Commodore 64, by the way.
Was that before or after you had the data on paper tape?
Well, I never did punch cards myself manually. I messed around with punch cards, but I never put them into a machine. But I did hand type in programs from Byte Magazine into my Commodore 64, so that's sort of paper.
Byte Magazine.
Yeah.
No, but I meant actual paper tape, like that came in like the big spool, and you would
Ticker
you
tape.
would punch, you would type and it would punch little holes in the tape.
Yeah, like ticker tapes, like the stock market.
Yeah,
used
like
to,
ticker. Yeah. I don't think it was for programming though. I think it was more of a like a Morse code type of thing.
It was for telegrams.
like communication. Yeah, for
Did-
telegrams.
The old General Electric is up $3.64 there, buddy. Stop. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, okay, so let's do this. Let's here, I'll start it. I'll click on it. I'll be the boss. Zen, is your is your log still
Yes, I have
full?
space in my mission log.
It says decline still. It's not doing it.
To me, it looks like.
We're just waiting on SEMA, I think.
Oh
Seema.
no, it's SEMA's declined. Did you already do it, SEMA? Yeah, no, it's not. Oh, there you go.
All right, here we go.
All right,
This
here
is
we go.
Darth Malgus to Viken Space Dock.
Darth
An
Malgus.
unusual opportunity has arisen. The colicoids are an insectoid species from the Inner Rim, specializing in technological sales and development. You met their lesser cousins on Balmora. The colicoids' latest weapons and battle droids could change the course of the war. I desire those weapons for the Empire.
I'm not your negotiator, so I'm sassy to everybody now because this is my dark side character.
You have the diplomatic service for making trade agreements. Why am I here?
Republic representatives are also eager to obtain colicoid weapons, so the insects have made a proposal. Both Republic and Empire strike teams will compete in a war game. The colicoids will sell technology exclusively to whichever side proves superior.
Let's just conquer them, of course.
That proposal is demeaning. If the colicoids won't trade, those weapons can be taken by force.
The colicoid
Yeah.
homeworld is far beyond Imperial space, and future developments will be lost to us. Cooperation costs us nothing. The colicoids have designated an asteroid hive as the battleground, containing traps and challenges designed to murder competitors. You will represent the Empire and be tested by colicoid machines as well as their warriors. The insects place little value on individual colicoid life.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Time for a bug hunt. That's what I've been saying all night, haven't I? That's a good response.
I believe I can help. But in return, you need to ensure the colicoids and the Republic can't identify me.
I'll arrange it. I have no desire to
sneaky.
compromise your undercover operations. The colicoids have been observing our forces for some time. Do not assume standard tactics will win this competition. And do not fail. If the Republic wins because of our weakness, they will gain a technological advantage that could cost us 100 worlds.
Interesting. I have to work on my accents. I tried to start doing a Darth Malgus accent there for a second, but then it started sounding like Sean Connery again. We were joking earlier tonight. All my accents turn into Sean Connery eventually. All right. So Seema and I debated on bringing in characters that were higher level and decided we wouldn't. And I have my undergeared Sork leveling dark side character that we've been using on the podcast, so hopefully we won't embarrass ourselves. So Star Wars likes bugs, right? Although did we see any bug races in the original trilogy? I don't think so. Only in the prequels, right? What are the name of the...
You're thinking of the Geonosians.
Yeah, and they were only in the
I
prequels,
guess.
right? Oh, in the cantina in episode 4, there were bugs? Like Geonosians or something else? Ooh, I got a codex entry. So because Zen is here, all right, open. Whoa, this this is a long one. I'll do it in my 1940s radio voice. C. The Calicoid Creation Nest is the nexus of the Calicoid droid manufacturing, technological, and research and trade. Although the nest is often described as a corporation, the translation does not fit exactly. The nest's hierarchy resembles that of a Calicoid hive, and its activities center on research rather than profit. Rivals like the Zerka Corporation and Systech often hire specialists to help them understand the complex nature of the nest. Many of these specialists have been devoured by the Calicoids and are part of their standard business practice. Despite its oddities, the Calicoid Creation Nest is considered one of the galaxy's technological and manufacturing powerhouses. Among its other achievements, the nest is responsible for several pioneering droid models. All right, now I gotta switch to Sean Connery. And an advanced ion cannon that has half the power consumption of the Republic designs. Unfortunately, the Calicoids are well aware of the value of their technology. This is terrible. This doesn't even sound like Sean Connery anymore. The Calicoids demand a heavy price for it, a price not always counted in credits. So this is what the deal is. I forgot what the story was. So the deal is that we're fighting this battle, and this is part of the price. And we are participating. I'll play your game, you rogue. We're participating in their game so that we can get their stuff. Sounds good to me. Thank you, Zen. They keep extracting me. Complete registered. All right, so we're done. So run out here. So we've registered for the game. All right, I remember this being painful at the time. I think we need to jump in these turrets, right?
Yeah, we jump in the turrets and we just point the turret using your mouse at the incoming bugs. BC's never been here before, right?
No, I haven't. But I read the guide on Dolphy, so we'll see how I go.
Turn left and right to aim the cannon. Right click to drag the camera for more precise control. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bizarre scenario to me that somebody wouldn't to kill a bunch of their citizens or
their friends. Maybe these are the bad ones.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, I got it. Don't get cocky, kid. Somebody's got to say that to me now. I got him. I got a really good feeling about this. I'm really good at this. I'm killing all of them. Not just the man colicoids, but the women colicoids and the children colicoids too. I'm gonna kill your colicoids too. Don't kill my colicoids, I got this. How long we gotta do this? This has become tedious. My name tag is in the way. Should shut that off.
I use my name tag to aim.
Ooh, we got some strongs coming up. Ooh, this one's about to eat me. Oh, he just punched me in the face. Stop it. Did somebody just yell
there's
yoo-hoo?
no way to go through this. There's no way to go through this any faster, is there? You kind of just have to sit and wait until they attack you.
At some point, oh, here's some of the strongs again. At one point, you could get out of this and just go kill them manually. But I think that might have been like when you were overpowered, and maybe you can't do that anymore. I don't want to risk it and look foolish and weak.
I do.
They're all level 40, so it might be possible.
All right, I'll leave one for you, Zen. You go kill one. Are you getting beat up?
No, I'm one-shotting them.
Are you? Maybe we should just do that. Maybe we just go run out there and...
But no matter how fast you kill them, you still have to wait for them to spawn before you can...
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I think we're done anyway. Do I get out? How do I get out of here? Oh, there we go. It went away. Sweet. Oh, I couldn't even scavenge it in time. I needed those mats. The mobs are only level 40. So we gotta do this again? Apparently. Do we have to click on them to start it? Survive the attack waves.
You are not expected to survive. Farewell.
You are not expected to survive. Yeah, there's a lot of them coming though. But force lightning is so awesome. Oh, there's sort of a lot. Maybe I should get in that. Maybe this was a bad idea. Whoa. Stop it. I'm back to shooting him with the cannon. That got scary. The cannon's got like an AoE effect on it now. I can like shoot multiple at once if they get close enough to each other. Alright, so while we're doing this, BC thought of a couple good questions. Was it BC that thought of them?
Hard to tell. It could have been Zen.
All those Australians are the same to me. As they were criticizing me, they said, what did we decide? That Seema and I are accentist. So BC thought of some very good questions that we could talk about while we're doing this tedious bug killing. So why don't you kick it off, BC? Your first question was, especially in the latest sort of content that they've been developing, they've been using these flashpoints like Crisis on Umbara and what was the one after that? The
Traitor Among the Chiss.
Yeah, the Chiss one. They're using them to tell parts of the story. A flashpoint, so not even an operation, but a flashpoint is integral to the narrative. So yeah, what's your opinion on that? Is that good? Do you like that?
So I really like the way that they they told the story during say the Shadow of Revan expansions, where there were a bunch of flashpoints, but they also had some planets in there. There were some cutscenes that weren't associated with flashpoints, so it wasn't solely flashpoints, although flashpoints are a big part of how they told the story. So I'm hoping with the next expansion that they don't just have a few flashpoints, but they also include, say, a planet with it, just to break things up a little bit, provide a little diversity. I felt like with the latest flashpoints, one of the best things that they did was they had that section before you even started the Nathma flashpoint that told the story, that when you run it in, say, veteran mode isn't actually a part of the flashpoint.
Yeah.
It just allowed them, it was a better storytelling device in that case. So I don't mind the flashpoints. Flashpoints are some of my favorite content, but I hope that they don't continue to only tell the story through flashpoints and make it a little bit more like, say, the Shadow of Revan expansion.
Is this not working? Can you not loot anything out of here?
You know, when I look at you, Max, it looks like you're channeling on the plasma cannon still.
I'm over here. It says looting. Does the looting thing.
Same for BC. But BC is about
Did
to
you
drop out.
get anything out of it?
No, I haven't opened it yet.
Oh well.
I'll try stealthing out just in case it's me that's causing something.
I need this junky level 40 gear on my level 50 character. Oh well, I guess no prizes for us. So yeah, I do like that. I don't know. Because you can do the flashpoint solo, I think I like it. I think it's okay, because then it's not much different than just being a chapter in my mind. If you had to do it with a group, I think that would be a little bit of a barrier. I wouldn't be as happy with that. I didn't really think about it until you sort of mentioned it. So maybe it's perfectly fine with me, and I didn't even notice that it would be a question, that it wouldn't be something I would prefer. So what about you, Seema? Do you like the flashpoints as part of the story? And Seema, I think your Discord is getting a little crazy again. Because we cannot hear ya. Is that you guys just like one-shotting those, and my week old stuff is not doing any damage?
I think the first one that I was hitting had some sort of shield because I wasn't doing much damage, but then two of the others that I attacked, I basically one-shot, yeah.
Cool. All right, so what about you, Zen? What's your view on the flashpoints as part of the story and part of the narrative?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a great way to kind of have some content which is reusable. I just wish that you could play through the story version of the Flashpoint with all the conversations and so on at the same time.
You mean with the group?
Not necessarily with a group, but just at all. Because if you run the solo version of the Flashpoint, it's still got the the critical parts concealed.
Oh, you mean when you come back to it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you run it the first time in the solo or whatever, and you get the full narrative, then yes, it's fine. But did that come back to life? What did that do? But then when you go back there, yeah, it doesn't have it. So there's no way to sort of get that to play again?
Not that I can figure out yet.
Huh.
I mean, I like to, when I do the story content, I like to take screenshots or, read all the codexes or something, And sometimes you might want to do that more
really?
than once. Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to read all the codex entries more than once? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, so this was a part. So the reason we're in here with 4 people and we didn't want to do it with only 2 is for one, the turrets get a little bit annoying, but for 2, supposedly with this part, there is a way to do this sort of puzzle part with either solo or with just a couple people. If you have if you have a juggernaut and you can like leap to, or a marauder and you can like leap to the enemy characters, but if not, or if you don't use whatever sort of tricks. This is a little bit of a puzzle and it's really hard to do. So thank you guys for being in here for this. Let's go down and kill some of these. And while we're killing some of these guys, next question up from BC was, what's your favorite and least favorite? So let's start with favorite. What's your favorite flashpoint? So we'll go around. Seema, what's your favorite flashpoint?
I was thinking about this earlier. Can you hear me now, by the
Yes.
way?
Yep, you sound good.
And the one that came up, which surprised me in my mind, was Aethys. I had a lot of fun in Aethys. I played it a lot when I was leveling, and it was sort of a good mix for me of challenging and still quick. And I like the boss fights in there.
I like that you can
But I also
pick
like,
up the little thing and get a dog pet.
yeah, I like Katamimu also.
Yeah.
I like the boss fights in there. Dislikes, I don't know why. I do not like the ones on the Tython and Korban ones. I thought I would love them because I love the idea, but they just feel long and tedious to me. So, likes.
Yeah, okay. I definitely I really liked them the first time through, because I mean it was cool to see Tython and Korriban sort of under assault and sort of see what you remembered from old school from the beginning of the game, sort of all wrecked up, you know? I liked it. It sort of makes me think of World of Warcraft, and so I think you need to go kill that last one, and we need to stand at these turrets while you go do it, Seema.
Oh, okay.
It makes me think of World of Warcraft Cataclysm, where it was sort of cool to see the old school zones, like the Barrens that you remembered, but it was all sort of ripped apart and destroyed. And
Yeah.
so that's what Tython and Korriban, Assault on Tython, Assault on Korriban make me think of. But you're right. Then after you do it once or twice and it's cool to see, then it gets a little weird and maybe it's not great. Now I'm behind a force field. Oh, now I'm out. Do we keep going now, or how do we get that last red one down?
Someone needs to channel the one from before so that I can get through.
Which one do we need
This
to
one?
channel? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think the last one. Yep, there we go.
Is that it? Is it gone? Yeah, good. That's it.
Now, Max, you should be able to go to that last terminal.
And I will go here. So this is like a little bit of a puzzle. And what did that do?
And now all the barriers are down.
Cool. So for people that are only listening and not watching, so we killed a bunch of bugs. We did 2 rounds of turrets. And then here's a bunch of platforms where you need to... This is why technically you're supposed to do it with 4 people, because you do a series of leapfrogging where somebody uses a console, then needs to be channeling it to drop the force field on the next console, and then the next person goes to that console and channels it. It's sort of cool. I like these kind of puzzles in Star Wars.
Yeah, I do too.
So BC, did you say what your favorite podcast is? Now I'm losing track. Or not podcast.
So I've played Flashpoints,
Siri,
most of
I'm not
them,
talking.
other than this one, many, many times. But from the perspective of replay value, I really like Kuat Drive Yards because it randomly selects which scenario. And
Yeah.
so I always find that when that pops up, I'm excited to play it because I'm not quite sure which scenario I'll get. In fact, recently it popped for me again and I got a scenario I'd never gotten before, even after the number of times that I'd run it. So I always enjoy that one just because after you've run it, doesn't matter how interesting a Flashpoint is, after you've run it 50 times, it starts to just get same old, same old. But
I mean,
Kuwait Drive Yards it has a lot of replay value. So
that's really interesting perspective because one of the first time they ever had a double XP event, we all played Quad Drive Yards for like 12 hours.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we used
So-
used and abused Quad Drive Yards because we liked it. But
Well, it could be run with any. It was the first tactical too, so you didn't have to have any particular group
that's also
makeup.
true. Right? Okay.
And yeah, we. But it's kind of funny. I didn't even think of Quad Drive Yards because it's sort of off my table now because I played it so much.
Yeah.
I forget about it.
I think somebody has to come
Yeah,
back
and apart
over
from
here.
being like a flex grip style, so you could have any character types or role types, I should say, you could actually do it any level between 10 and I think it was like 55
right.
maybe, and
So
that
we
was
used
like
it.
revolutionary.
Yeah, we used it for leveling. That's what we were abusing it.
But you're absolutely right because so it's sort of in three parts. You do 2 pre-scenarios and then you do a boss, and each of the 2 pre-scenarios are sort of, I think it's out of a group of 6, and the bosses are a selection out of a group of 4, if I'm remembering correctly. So it was the whole deal was, it was very interesting to be able to do that and mix it up and always sort of get something different. Now, we ended up doing it enough where I got all the achievements for doing all of the different parts and killing all of the bosses and doing all of the like the sub achievements within each of the parts. Like you like save all the prisoners and all the prisoners live till the end when you open up the prison cells, doing that part of it or whatever. So we did all of the achievements in there too. So we did it pretty much as much as you could do it. But even so, that was a brilliant design, and I wish they would do more of those kinds of things. So are we done here? Can we run all the way through now?
So I think BC can go forward.
I think everybody can. Yeah, we all can come now.
I am carefully observing your tactics. This learning experience is most appreciated.
So we just had to solve another puzzle of clicking consoles and moving forward, and now we're...
I like that we can ride our speeders here.
Oh, can we? Yes, we can. Wow, that is.
And our Varenticuses.
And here's a Colicoid Defender that is not attackable. What are these guys doing? And another chest that we
observing
cannot
us.
loot. So the chat room said we...
I'm sorry, you just can't come.
Did somebody get locked out?
The elevator wasn't working for me.
It didn't like your Varent.
Why does these chests not work at all? Why is there no loot for us? It's making me sad. The chat room says they don't work, so I think they're supposed to work. What's the deal? De heck, man. De heck do you mean?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Dark side, light side choice here.
I got a really good feeling about this.
Maybe I'll be able to win the role for the conversation choice.
I have to go dark side.
Oh, we have competition.
So the conversation says that we're at a certain point, but we see some Republic soldiers also arriving there to compete for the colloquids. To compete for the colloquids, cooperation, and we have the option to sabotage the opposition or to spare them.
Sabotage. I just killed them.
Sabotage wins.
I just killed them all.
That's just mean.
That one
It
will
is.
not keep me up at
It is,
night.
isn't
Not
it?
like Voss. Voss is going to haunt my dreams because those
But
cool guys in the
we
temple.
sabotage them with turrets, not with lightning. So I don't know what I think
Yeah, I
about
know.
that.
The chat room is saying shoot it with lightning, which is... Oh, I remember this part. This is pretty iconic. What does this remind you of? Anyone? Anyone? Episode 2? This totally looks
Attack
like
of the
episode
Clones
2.
on
Attack of the
Geonosis.
Clones, yeah.
Except there are 2 Nexus. We're missing the one that's like a rhino.
Yeah, you're right. And we're
That's right,
missing
there was
Anakin
one
being
Nexu, one Ackley. Yeah.
being a waste of space, and Padme being cool, and Ewan McGregor being uber awesome. All right, well, I guess let's kill some arena beasts. Ow. Not cool. Jumped right on me.
Maybe I should have worn my shirt with
Oh,
the
wow.
midriff showing.
Well, that was... You guys are OP, man. Oh, I'm gonna totally
That was
scavenge this thing.
disappointingly easy.
Yeah.
I think we did a good thing in bringing these guys in with us, Seema.
I have analyzed your tactics.
Yeah, me too.
Because I keep noticing that I'm doing like tens of damage, and then they come in like do like tens of thousands of damage.
Systems failure. Fascinating. There was more to where to learn.
Scavenge quickly. Very good. Leave nothing to waste.
Excellent. Some great formats for Conquest.
Yeah.
All right, so this was good. So we just did our last battle. We had to kill a few beasts in the arena, and then a big champion robot popped up to do sort of like our final challenge. We've certainly had our battle prowess tested by robots and other points in the game, like the Gree in particular, Xenoanalyst. But yeah, this is... I don't know. This is a cool design, and I can see why they had problems sort of turning it into a story mode. You can't bring in a bot and make the puzzles work different by bringing in a droid, a magic droid companion. But if they just sort of disabled the puzzles, this place would sort of be broken. So yeah.
It's a shame they didn't turn it into one that you can at least do in veteran and master mode and bring a group in. It's kind of fun because the mechanics are a little bit different. Like that quest on Balmora, I think on the Republic side, where you have to figure out the switches to turn off in a certain order.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to have puzzles and different challenges other than find, fetch, kill all the time.
Or like the
I agree.
hypermatter tubes on CZ. Well, that's in Black Hole, right? Hypermatter Tower.
Yeah. And I like it when it crops up in the chapters too. Every once in a while, there'll be like a little puzzle section.
Yeah, like the chapter that has you as the mouse droid.
Yeah.
Where you have to sneak past.
Or the Shroud quest line, which we talked about.
Yep, I like this.
With the guild last
and the
week.
HK-51 on the
Theoretica.
ship, where you've got
the Theoretica. Now that's not a flashpoint, but it's close, and that is one of my favorite pieces of content in the game too. The Theoretica. Maybe we'll have to do that.
That might be
with our characters.
A good thing to do for Mega is get everyone through the last parts of those 2 quest chains.
Yes, through the HK. Well, it'd be boring to do the part hunting. So maybe everybody
That's
has to
why I
go do
say
that
get
on
them
their
through.
own. Yeah.
Yeah, do just the part that's group content at the end.
Although doing
Because
the
I know a
parts
lot of people
hunting with
get.
a group is really beneficial.
Yeah, it is. That's true. But I know there's a lot of people in the guild that have gone all the way to the end and just never finished it for that reason. We keep saying, "Oh yeah, we should do that."
So what are we doing here? Aren't we supposed to leave? Why can we not leave? What do we open up? Open the door. Why won't you open the door? I'm gonna have to shoot lightning at
We
this.
have to return to Imperial Fleet, according to the mission log.
Return, but shouldn't there be like a door to do that?
But we're trying.
I think we just exit area.
Is that what you have to
Okay.
do? They don't have like a.
Works for me.
Were you able to mount up in here? No. Complete. Wait, now I just got another
Complete as soon as I.
Yeah, what did that do? Open the door.
Nat says, "Gee willikers, guys, open the door." What door?
Yeah, where's the door? There's no door. Yeah, what the heck? The heck, man? Is that?
Now we contact Darth Malgus again.
All right, I will just exit area then. Is that what you guys did? You just exit area?
That's what I did, yeah.
The big M, Mal. What's up? What's up, Mal man? Malamar. That's what I call him.
That is the exit you are looking for.
Holo call. Nope. Join conversation. Yep. Don't mind if I do.
This is Darth Malgus. We've received the results of the competition. The Colicoids were impressed by the damage you inflicted. The Republic challengers did not survive. The outcome is clear.
No problem.
I really am the best.
It is known
that merely participating would be a sign of weakness. But you have seen the weapons the Colicoids produce. Envision our armies supplied with such devices, and tell me we have not done well.
We don't need their weapons. I have force lightning that I shoot at everything.
In war, every weapon must be seized.
Your assistance in this matter will not be forgotten.
Thanks, Big M. Cool. All right, well, this was cool. I'm glad we got it. And it really has literally been years since I've done this. So what'd you think, BC? You happy you got a chance to do it?
Yeah, that was fun. It's like we were talking about, it's nice to play around with some different mechanics, shooting the weapons, solving a puzzle.
Yeah.
And also I'm a completionist, so now it doesn't say 0% for Colicoid War Games, which is nice.
There you go.
There is always that.
100%. Woo!
All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. So BC, master of our conquest spreadsheets, where should people find you and your cool stuff on the interwebs?
Yeah, you can find me at Brendan Kavanagh on Twitter, or you can join the AIE Guild Discord and benefit from all of the discussion about conquest and
that's a great
how to get to goal.
And Zen, how about you? Where should people come to find you?
They can come to Twitter as well, at JediZen_0001.
All right.
I am the first.
As in the
of
one
thousands.
and only.
And everyone can find me and Seema on Twitter at Max the Gray and at AIE Seema. They can find our EPC 248 droid floating around, broadcasting this podcast to all of you in all of the places, including on newoverlords.com, on YouTube, on Twitch as well. You can certainly come find us as well on Starforge, or check out aie-guild.org and look up our Discord and jump in there and ask us for an AIE Guild invite. We would certainly like to have you in there. And if you know anyone else who should be listening to the podcast so they can figure out what we're all about and come join us in Star Wars as well, definitely point it out to them. We would love to have you do that. And we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Night.